we need to know that our diameter is equal to 4 square root of 3, which means the radius is going to be 4 square root of 3 over 2, which will be 2 root of 3. You agree with me there? Yes. So 2 root of 3 is going to be our radius. Then the given equation is x squared plus y squared minus 2mx plus 7m minus 4 equal to 0. Okay? Now, we need to rewrite this. I'm sure you can see that we have got a term in x, then we have got a y squared. Now, this is a constant. M is a constant. Be aware of M is a what? A constant. So, we can take the 7m minus 4 to the right. Okay? Are you following that? So that we can end up having x squared. Then we swap this minus 2mx in the y. We've got x squared minus 2mx plus y squared, right, is equal to, now when I take the 7m, it's going to become minus. The minus 4 becomes a positive. So I can write this as positive 4 minus what? 7m. Are you following that? Please ask if you've got any issue there. If you take the positive 7m, it becomes negative. If you take the negative 4, it becomes what? Positive. Then I need to write this in standard form so that I can be able to look to get an expression for the radius. And that expression for the radius, I will equate it to what? 2 root of what? 3. Are you following that? Yes. So here, we don't have, okay, we don't have another term in y, so we can leave this as it is. Okay? Let's simplify here. So if I simplify here, it means I need to find half of the coefficient of x, which means we need to find half of minus 2m. What is minus 2m over 2? It's going to be m. Okay? So we end up having x squared minus 2mx plus minus m squared, right? Plus y squared, this will be equal to 4 minus 7m plus. Now, since I added this minus m squared, I have to add it on the right hand side. So that will be plus minus m squared, like that. Are you following that? Please be aware that we don't have any other term in y, we only have y squared. So we can't complete the square where we have got, in terms of y, we can't complete the square. Alright? Then here, we'll end up having x squared minus 2mx plus m squared plus y squared is equal to, now if I simplify this, minus m all squared will give me m squared. Then I can rearrange this and write as m squared minus 7m plus 4. Are you following that? Huh? Then we can factorize the trinomial in terms of x. If we factorize it, we will end up getting x minus m squared plus y squared is equal to. Now, be aware that the expression on the right hand side is equal to the radius. Because here, since we have got this y squared here, what will be the value of y at the center? If you were paying attention yesterday, if we have got y squared like this, what will be the value of y at the center? It will be 0. Okay, we can write this y squared as y minus 0 all squared, but we are not going to do that. So all you have to do is write this, it's equal to m squared minus 7m plus 4. What are we supposed to find? We are supposed to find the value of what? Of m. But this expression m squared minus 7m plus 4, it's equal to r squared. Okay? Are you following that? So, So I can end up saying my r is equal to 2 root of 3. Okay? But we want this to be r squared, so it's going to be 2 root of 3 all squared. And this will give me 2 squared times 3. And you get 12. Please use a calculator if you are not sure. Okay? So r squared is going to be 12. But then the same r squared from the equation, it's equal to m squared minus 7m plus 4. So I just have to equate the two. Is this making sense? We've got our standard form of the equation of the circle. The right hand side is equal to r squared. We've got our value for r as 2 root of 3. So we just squared that 2 root of 3. Then we'll get the value of r squared. We equate that value to the expression on the right hand side. Is that making sense? Right? Then, so we end up having m squared minus 7m plus 4 is equal to 12. Now we can start smiling. So this is going to be m squared minus 7m. Take the 12 to the left, get minus 8 equal to 0. Now we have got a grade 9 quadratic equation. And you have got more than 2 methods of solving. So I can factorize this. So I can have minus m minus 8 times m plus 1. This is equal to 0. What this means is that m will be equal to 8 or m will be equal to negative 1. Okay? So this will be the two answers. Okay? So we have got two values for what? For m. Now, are we given any restriction as to what value of m is supposed to be? No. So we need to take into account that now m can be any of those two values. We are not told that m is supposed to be positive or negative. Therefore, we have to consider both answers. Okay, let's allow those who are copying this to. Are you following? How many of you did the question? You tried. Thanks. Okay. All right. Then the question now says, write down the coordinates of the center of the circle. The coordinates of the center of the circle. Right? Now, the coordinates of the center, since we found two values of m, okay? We found two values, not one, we found two values of m. What it means is we might have two centers, okay? So if we go back here, see here, our m is equal to 8 or minus 1, right? And the value at the center for y, it's a 0. Are you following that? It means our center, it's possible that it's at 2 points. Okay? It's at 2 points. So we have two centers here. Right? So the next part of the question, our center can be at x equal to 8 and y equal to 0. The center can also be at x equal to minus 1 and y equal to what? 0. Remember, the value of y at the center is not going to change. It's the same. The value of y at the center is the same. Any question? Are you following? Is there anybody who has got a question? Huh? Any question? I hope I hope you can see here. I hope you can see that we have got M here, right? That's how I figured out that the M is also the X value at the center. And here we have got Y squared, which means the value of Y at the center is 0. But we have got two values of M. Therefore, the circle might have two centers. Okay? This one here, it will be on the x-axis. That will also be on the x-axis, but this one it will be on the right-hand side of the y-axis. This one will be on the left-hand side of the y-axis. Are you following that? Which means our center is along the x-axis.